Hey, what up? I'm Pastor Mattie Ice, and as always, my associate pastor, Water. I came to Saipan like 9 months ago. My backpack was full of cameras, and I had so many SD cards. I had underwater cameras. I had this nice Canon. I was pumped to capture everything and to show it to so many people. But at first, there's a problem with the cameras, a problem with the SD card, a problem with my Mac, and so I could only use this trusty iPhone. With help of my friends, we went to places like this to see caves. But we're in this cave called Honeycomb Cave today. We ran up mountains like this. We went scuba diving. We did so many cool things, except for one thing. I would run up Suicide Cliff. There's this hole on the side. I'm like, I want to go to that hole. For 9 months, I didn't, but thanks to quarantine, a former hunter and a former rock climber from Colorado, and Victoria, who's like, yes, I'm all for adventure. We're like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna try to find this hole in the side of Suicide Cliff. We were up there and we could like see it by looking down, so we had to come down again. So for those of you who are wondering, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's like we've been doing burpees all the way through the jungle. But first, a word from our sponsor, St. Joe Self-Storage in Evansville. Okay, so they're not really a sponsor. The owner's letting me keep my stuff there while I'm here in Saipan for 2 years. Here's the story. I would ask people, how do I get to that hole? And what is that hole? I would say, hello Google, can you point me in the direction of this hole? What is this hole? How do I get to it? Do I go up to the top? Do I go to the middle? Do I start from the bottom? I don't know. First, it was Justin, Victoria, and myself. We said, hey, let's go. Let's try to find this thing. We get to the middle, and we're like, we got to go up farther. So we get practically to the top of Suicide Cliff, and it is try one. And then we get to the edge, and it's this beautiful view. And we look out, and we're so excited. We're like, man, we are finally in the place. It's like it's right below us. So we go a little bit lower, and then we realize we probably need to start try number 2. So we just got back in the car and getting ready for try number 2 to find this cave without a name, really. Maybe it's just called Side of the Cliff Cave. If you know what it's called, drop a comment below. So we go and we walk for like 2 hours trying to go through, and then we see this sweet like institute observatory. They're all over the place in here. It's pretty cool. We finally get to a spot where there's barbed wire. Dang it. On the other side of the barbed wire, there's a hole, and I'm like, man, we found it. And there is a hole. Where does it go? We'll find out. And we're out on the other side, and here they are. So we don't, and then so we go a little bit farther. We're getting ready to go into a hole. So for those of you curious, this is Cow Cave that we saw on Adventure 2. It's very open. See out to the road and the waves. So there it is. And Justin's like, I'm going in. He puts his headlamp on. He's ready to go. And Victoria's like, I hear something over there. And we look over and there's a cow. And so we start going back to said barbed wire. And then there is a bull coming out of now what we're going to call Cow Cave. All right, I want to give a formal apology to all my friends and fans and everyone who watched this video thinking we were going to find something cool, because we went to that abandoned cave that we just walked through. There were fuse box and butterflies. It was really cool. And I'm getting ready to grab my phone out to start videoing, and then Victoria, it's like, oh, we're close to a farm. And as we walk away, we look back, and there is a big old bull coming out of this cave, and so we took off, no video footage, and for that I apologize. Well, shoot, that's the end of that journey. Enter a former rock climber from Colorado named Adelia, and she's like, yeah, we got this thing, we're gonna go a different direction. So the 4 of us go back, and this time more determined and more excited than ever. We're super pumped now to start day number 2, find this thing that I've been waiting to find for 9 months, and finally, are we gonna find this thing? So Adelia is all in. She's super excited. She's like, let's climb up here, and let's climb up here, and let's go back down here. And finally we get to the part where I look over and I see beauty. I think maybe, just maybe, I'm finally going to be able to post something on YouTube to help so many people, probably like you, who have been looking for this. How do I get to this place? Well, no, we're now too high. So we go back down. And then, as as we're climbing back up, we see it. It's right there. So we keep going and going and going. And see, people had told me that might be a wild goat cave. And meanwhile, I'm like looking around because there have to be these cows that we saw on the first day. They have to be around. Cows kill like 22 people a year. Talk about suicide cliff. Why would I be walking into this cow minefield? Yeah, I have a little fear. It's probably unhealthy fear of cows. But let's think about it. Cows are huge. Justin was leading the way at one point, and he like screams like he just saw a cheetah. He's like, spiders on me. So at least I'm not like that guy. I'm at least afraid of something that's like 3 times bigger than me and could eat me. I would say eat me, but he's a herbivore. So we're coming up on this hole, and we finally get to it. We finally get to the hole, and we look out. Yeah. Isn't that view sweet? We get to the place and we're like, man, we made it. And we look up and there's another hole. We decide to climb out that way. We're so excited. Oh, man, this is so great. We finally made it to our destination. See, for 9 months I could not do it on my own. And it wasn't until a guy who was a former hunter in southeast Missouri, trekking up cliffs and through ravines and stuff, a former rock climber from Colorado, and my best friend Victoria, to say, hey, let's do this thing together. And that is when the adventure took place. And that is when views like this were able to be accomplished. And then there's the final step. There's the final step where I have to do the outro. So then you get to see me say numerous times, stay chill and float on. You get to hear me say many times to like, subscribe, and share. You get to hear me say many times about the process of this journey. Because the outro has to be perfect, right? Because the journey was perfect? No, the journey was not perfect. It took us 3 tries. It took us 2 days. It took me 9 months to try to find this place. So of course the outro is going to naturally have Justin coughing in the background. I encourage you to...
This guy.
Adventurers have a journey, they have a process. Okay, so we just crossed the fence again, and we're back to the same place we were during adventure number 2. See, there's the first cave that we showed you. Now we're getting ready to keep going forward to see the cow cave because we think we gotta keep going back up. It's like a zigzag line. So here we are, we're walking, and it's like, it's sort of like the side. So we're gonna go back down again, just to try to go straight. Sometimes you gotta wiggle and jiggle all the way around. We were up there, and we could like see it by looking down, so we had to come down again. So for those of you who are wondering, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's like we've been doing burpees all the way through the jungle. And that's the beauty of the adventure. So when you come to Saipan, when you go on your adventure wherever you're going, maybe you're checking out the dunes, maybe you're checking out the forest, maybe you're checking out a ravine or a cave, whatever adventure you're going on, have fun with it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the burpee effect of up, down, up, down. Do we go up top here? Do we go down here? Enjoy the process. And know that you might be close, but you might not be. See, so many times in this process, I was like, we're so close. So we got back to the road after I told you goodbye up there, and we were so far away from the cave, but still so close. And you can't even see the cow caves from here. But guess what? We never were. Until we were. We go on cool adventures here in Saipan. Hey, what up? I'm Pastor Mattie Ice, and this is
Victoria, and we're here to tell you what you can do with 30 seconds and $30.
Whenever I travel in the Philippines, I go on cool adventures there. I've been on cool adventures in Africa. Cool adventures are with friends. I encourage you to find those friends and go on those adventures. So, in only the way that Pastor Mattie Ice, who finally made it to his destination after 9 months, can say, stay chill, float on. Stay chill, float on. Stay chill, and float on. Stay chill, and float on. Stay chill, and float on. You can and stay chill. Float on. Find your own. Go on an adventure. All right, I'm Pastor Mattie Ice. The water is right out there. My friends are either holding the camera or staying out of the camera. Stay chill and float on. So, there you have it. Thanks for story time with water, candle, Dr. Woodson. We'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe so you know when next time is.